nice way of presenting himself out to the media. And said that I don't have any evidence. But you see, he's a very smart guy. Or try to endear and appeal to the general public in your eyes. But deep down, a humaness or doesn't come to light. And a ho and ansem no one. Now one who IGP I had na ba or no ankasa ni colleagues in Penifon or Masoreti another.
Ebi mu say bia IGP a mo MPP ni NDC chita fo bebre Ghana fo bebre no ani agene kra no. It also shows to say Ghana is a nation in discipline, and perhaps he was trying to instill discipline among the Ghanaian the Ghanaian na pa yempe discipline intinia ye ni agenti a yesi onko no.
No, is it COP Christian tete yo nuhunu nipa bebre kura nimno, and people don't even care whether he's capable or not capable. People were concerned about Dampare and then the impunity with which his tenor police were operating in this country. It is
indiscipline of the nation.
No. It is another terrain. Just imagine say Obawa Ghana na police for ashoko na kuno. Na chese nyansani bia ni ho ma explanation at the national level, but that's already the statement about Bonten. Unio bia chese nothing. Na police for us IGP asanla no ma ba ofie no ma abachiawo. Na ma sure say oh ye be ye no nothing happens. Hey, anya kramaya sam na ye kan. We are talking about human beings. IGP ben and the pencil. Sa nema we ohun bi. No investigation, no subsequent follow-up, nothing. And you can go back to the families of those who lost their people and ask them, say, after incident in this year, and the police here far home. Yeah, Nipada Senia Sam Nayakao. And it was what the Anya, Yanka Bullion van for the Dr. Ren Kanokre. Police for Tereyachi almost say, they were behind it. Nyansa be the wom say yes incident by the farm so kwakire baby yakwa shootout see and ya bom mutuo senka Ghana is serious country and every single person involved in that particular thing at the jail and they decided to go and kill them. Say the matter or die because ebia omuko gina court omuko akobo diama agu police for nanimase enti yekoku omo they were killed. Those people were murdered. But enam say abana no sisu at the time no so ye jonjonti abana na sabi onwini nkwa chirinti no. Sa nkrofo wo ye see ye. Nothing happened. Because you can't execute human beings in that manner and behave say there be no. You can't do that.
And to send you kan na Akim Ebuakwa South Womo MP wodi abetudwa owura attach say, and I quote or say, if you know the dossier on Dampare which was placed on the table of President Akufo-Addo, you will be shocked at why he was romancing such evil.
Yes. So you see, this is attached. You're part of government, and a lot of people within the MPP who are also jubilating. Ebina mahu abrante ya say me wura finidin kakra or no. There are a lot of people within the MPP omonso no hailing this particular dismissal. It means that the guy had a lot of cobwebs and as skeletons in his closet. Back of what they na why being who be that say in the history of this country IGP police for everybody they jubilate cover me who be that. So almost wherever there is smoke, there could be some element of fire somewhere. And in as much as I condemn those jubilations, a childish, a infantile, a demonstrative unprofessionalism, those kind of things, there is something we can also add to the conversation and ask the why. Interrogate why people will do that. To the extent of risking their entire profession, putting cameras on their faces, come out in public and jubilate. It means there was something going on.
Because offer attach asema working say offer the parliamentary ad hoc committee omu probu Owura Daniel Bugri Nabu and others to remove Dr. Kufu Dampare and sensem no say ensem a ekomu no ene nneoma wo mu fine no na very very na hardwene.
Yes, because aside everything I'm side I'm worried about has to do with the killings. I also extrajudicial killing.
They said a year or hini yere kase ufa a year aswasi the two yenye Muslim leaders and Kenya one hini and kasamu ebisino then Kenya some kitwa.
Yeah, because when is a kromano ya target say obi a Muslim man and as that zongo boys in here to trust them as a fonti omuku omono na omufrizo we num de zongo fonti e frame omo so mo ya amro besa obi abaje adi and omo kwase say atuo ne mo ba begu omo nche. How can you do this as a police officer? Trust is very, very, very important. And several other instances, of course. So,
Anyway, yes, our blogger, bongo ideas, you create copy, Kenny, actually.
As someone may baba no, this young man, you may not like him, fine. But you see, for the gentleman to be picked from his house, police for say, national security say, Obia say, but internal security is at the doorsteps of the Ghana Police Service. Enti anyo biano investigation ben na Dampare the boy no narrating or deals no go through no. It was shocking, trust me. Enti IGP kura nka woti asem we no wodo na besi form and make sure say something is done. Dr. Ren. Yeah beto abai maame ya owo airport wa yekofa anu yi. Oba o oye adwuma o airport yekofa no. Internal security is at the bosom of the Ghana Police Service. Besin ne kwan na kofa ma me no bi anim enti IGP na osisi no faso be na so if you cannot protect people asem no see we are no investigation nothing na adai security ben. And do you know a number of people omoyira okrom ha because they went on social media and posted something against government then omo wodi na woti omo nka no. There was the last time I meet you. There are a lot of people omoyira okrom say ya besin ne omo hu omo Obongo ideas a man for nim no more than about back. What about the number of people more ya or mamba back? And all this because a Dampare may not have control over some of because or nipa or no so. But you see, assembly Syria. Dr. Ran, Mojuma Mwa Moye say Obia Kwakoto Obi Mona or outside work. Won't be blame or owner and I say CEO of the company say Obia kwakoto obi mona but mona no atia wie no de obeye na be mana kire say oye leader meboa
sa pepepe
no it's all over papers ade chie no wa betena ha oh Ivan yenya interview as if nothing has happened. It means oye irresponsible
na afi na sa nipa kono watomo na no wodi eye director me boss Dr. Mark abetena na afi no mudidi nkomo no no so be ka say adwuma wo ye na so manipa koso a na ye.
Yes, you don't do that. You hurt the emotions and the sensibility of people out there. And for me, Dampare there across on the Rubicon wacha ono anim dada so ono ano onim because near na air so under him no. The instance that some of the police were turned into a kill squad. Just shooting now when near akoso okroma we bi nie. Asa. Near akoso okroma say no.
The police intelligence department, the PID, into a so-called quote unquote a terrorist organization be Dampare boys. I said they were untouchables.
Dr. Ren, me say nema across wo kromano. Now I didn't know across where you be people are jubilating. Nema across no. Enya de ketwa. And I think that he also failed to manage his personal relationship with people within his own service, At the police top, those disagreements, he couldn't manage those things. But my culture says, if you're a smart person in leadership position, the best option you have is how to use your enemies to get the best out of them. Adia dewo we asepa and say winim nyansa na we use your enemies. So if you are smart and as a leader, you don't throw away enemies. You rather use them and you can use them well. But if you are petty and you are not smart, you create that gap between you. So it me versus them. When you have power over them. So power over Obia. What is the point creating enmity? When you can use the person. So I think that or no one nedua and na wakotena so na ade na bu no obeto fam. And he saw it coming. And so I think that those who were seeking say, oh yeah, the president, the court, you know, these are attention seekers. They just wanted to be heard in the media.
Hey, a year president, a year Franklin Kujo of Imani.
Oh, Dr. Ren, you know very well. Oko constitution, no the tenure of the IGP and yes secured. President, you know, they serve at the pleasure of the president. So based on what? And I will call the answer to stop the president. Based on what? Based on what? Exactly.
Many wouldn't come the way a messages ba offer a nipa more than 100 awomutie or TikTok so ne the other Alexa so the end ebubri offer a 92.4 from mama drive omutie nipa just say nipa don bebre no messages I be some park na me send message just say do no ma nkofo do a wo ye chechi wo mo kra no a se ne wuken Ghana for krantin ho kan krampo.
Yes, Dr. Ran, it was a scary situation.
Obi ananka gofo say oh IGP dey hwa IGP ono akwakoto eye kokko ye Ghana ye hu bi da IGP wo to kokko
media ni jimie last me hu obi say you fancy IGP Dampare buy kenke from roadside eating like ordinary man. Me say mo dem jimie dey nanka o eat as dey where your news. So people in the media, no, he had a sizable number of people within the media. And into that change of government by, he thought that he could lobby. But lobby, yeah. I mean, if you grab a farmer,
hey, Ivan, and I say,
oh, yeah. I'm telling you, lobby no cost, my big crab. So he was bent on doing everything just to ensure that he stays.
And your honor, a friend is saying, John Mahama ba appear stadium, ye koto dame, be DH na eja ye video bi na fakotum from me IGPM pamo, pamo.
So you seen those cunning tactics now, you know, sa not here. So obetimia create that kind of things. Na IGP a wenya Van Dam e ba na wonam your friend is saying social media camera do watching na dwendwem beat the chire dwendwem na da way Van Dam. They are killing people on the ground. People are getting lost. Amanfo ira ya adapt amanfo na wo ya Van Dam way o social media camera di watching na dwendwem beat the chire.
Ivan.
Yeah, nkra na yehu Van Dam on na mana as your slow motion na we beat the chire dwendwem. Yeah, na your kwhwe free show no. Eduru ho na ya stop it na ya kasa ubetua sika no obewuram. Eno bi na ona ma na oye. Ye ku amanfo ma ira. Police fo ebo amanfo tuo, ya chi amanfo ahomache. Through modemu. People and you see and he I think that the guy was an attention seeker. The point is quite simple. Okay, said there was a time or the directive Biba said we are a software na
31st the mention come no.
Yes, Dr. Ren.
Koba say a friend is saying wa unu ne ko Legon Abranti ya Misba Adamfi Nigel Gazy and ono nso eja ekoho ba asem gigigi woni Dampare ho nsem mention kom shatawale mu nyina kone na mu chese ene awo kwe 31st se ne ba amanfo be hyen kom pa o afi we de amanfo be hyen kom.
Dr. Ren, that directive was simply the biggest incrasisema mahu in the history of this country.
Oh
man, oh yes, I have told you on this platform. I'm a catcher say sa asofo ma hye nkom na ma yesa we na obewu ensem hunu me no atena say we've condemned those things, but you see it does not lie with an IGP to say wo hye nkom na attractive obi a mechewo. You don't do that, because you see if you look at how religion is highly embedded in our society, no, there are people who have faith in some of these things, even though they are omoya ni ensem hunu, but there could have been a way you better handle that situation rather than threatening to arrest people. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it means that he was trying to put fear into the people so that they can succumb and then allow him to operate.
Because the state cannot ban religion and religious activities anywhere. And you don't determine the Obibaka in terms of prophecy. So you see, in that situation, you could have met all these people, caution them, and reaffirm the need to desist from those things. And call the person when there is no need standing in the public and create that fear and a conversation. But to put it bluntly, say, wait, come on. But when that things came, there were a lot of people who were hailing it. And I make us sometimes beyond the emotions, and just go down and analyze the thing and try to put it in the context of an intellectual context. You will see a lot of gaps. As long as religion continues to reign, people are at service in that particular environment, it will become a bit, your friend is saying, BBB to say, oh, prophesize na a yes, ya, macho. When you could have found a way, these are individuals, they are not robots. Just call them, engage them, and tell them why you want them to stop doing those things. Are you telling me saying community? Nipa ya moya so for okromai. Obi dodo an obi kura class 1 dem kro see that. Or no say o to me ohu. And because the society is sick into some of these individuals any opportunity. But so obi ha nyansa keke kura say obi hu say asem we mu oduru yan kan ba dwam onim. But so you as a smart person, need to engage them and find a way at some of these issues, because they are sensitive, but to put it blindly out there, say you will be arrested. 31st night, that kind of prophecy in as for the man. To what extent can you control that particular thing? And to what prophecy? And then the and the independent to minka. Within what legal framework? So in some now kasakwa because within what legal framework? And I know they require that particular arrest or they are called to bang. Now I charging the based on their fear and panic. So some of the things now, baby, a month for because at the time, Shatawale and those people projected that particular thing to a certain level. And a month for very much concerned about 31st night, a month for prophesizing. So all that he needed to do as an attention seeker is to walk into that particular fame. And just over here, attention you now draw from a man who make it those way onto Dampare because we're attracting away a soft for better. So the way the guy was operating, it was cunning, very subtly smart, and who know be a way super smarter. You get caught up in his things now, and assume say, oh, this guy is working. But I'm telling you, there is no IGP in the history of this country under his tenure who count a number of scandals. Within the police itself, they are dealing with the general public, people getting lost. And the police now within them, for the first time, who say police in Penifona protocol out to Dampare in every. What do you think were the cause of all these things? So I think that Dampare is an old story. Waba wayane dia nema ya kan nyina yentumi nkasa oba ya wanya de papa. There are a number of reforms ni initiative ni nema papa bebere Dampare nso ye. And I think so no akotena nchen na a review ne papa no review ne bone a ono will take solace in whether he did good or he did bad. But to continue to be IGP in Nasefo, that is outside his power. That power belongs to the president. And I think that per the current constitutional arrangement, you can't begrudge the president for taking that decision. And for me, where I stand, say even if we are arguing, say going forward, security head, IGP, CDS, and then as for young farmer institutions, no more appointed or more there. My big question is, are these institutions professionally mature enough to make such big decisions? Oko military na is divided, NDC for near, MPP for near, and it's a tug of war between them. So how do you allow such institutions there? So it is better the president or not be choose now we are calling him. Because these institutions have not demonstrated that sense of maturity to prove to policy advisors, say, advise the president so that he will let the police elect their own IGP, the CDS, the military will elect their own CDS. We've not gotten there. And practices around the world prove otherwise. So even America, a mature democracy, will not allow the FBI to elect their own director and as a former. The CIA, as of now, is an old institution. The CIA cannot appoint its own director. The National Intelligence Bureau in the United States of America cannot appoint its own director. Now, Ghana, a fragile democracy, are so polarized. Now, say, yamma police for the soldier for crime, no munyi or director. Maybe people didn't have this information, but now that you have it, you can sit down, and do, you analyze it and make your informed decision. And through that unprofessionalism out there in the uniform celebrating because IGP is going. It didn't make sense. You may not like him, fine. But our honor, you are not serving the IGP, you are serving Mother Ghana. So whether you like Dampare or not, your allegiance wasn't to Dampare, it was to the Ghana police as an institution. But for you to get out there in public and jubilate, speaking volumes about the level of profit. So, Dr. Ren, me baby on the police, I have always recommended, say, Nipa onim nyansa, now what did 24 years? To think, say, obey him the 6 months at training Nipa no, amani tuono, wono na winim nyansa. Because you cannot use 6 months to train a fool and give him a gun to be moving around as a police officer. Yes, in other dispensations, there's US accounting code, some of the training, within months, and then I say for them, fine. But you see, because it's a leadership governance, and your template, I try to avoid. You look at your circumstances and how they are drafted or policies in for what we have seen in the past, clearly, 6 months ain't enough to train police or army officer here in Ghana. So it is at the back of that I recommend, say, setting up police training colleges. Only panebe school no degree. You're making sure, say, we train them psychologically, even how to deal with others. Police need P-Uber. Part-time job or P-Uber, or do your price in a costro. Customer is going to your subetia or be in a dashboard that we to train wakuno. Bizarre say, psyche evaluation, training bang, what is the extent? I just said there are a lot of shortfalls in our training. We need to compensate for that. So with the police training colleges, training people for 3 good years, will help them train them in the area of cyber security, bioterrorism, your friend saying several other areas, because there are several dimensions. Criminal investigation, how to deal with people, psychological enlightenment, whole lot. And to Nipan Bababon, now or a fully baked police officer, very intelligent. But when you're 6 months, I am confirmed me, I will be see for me a frat, hey, yay, log we are con, now you did Dimika. I don't know. Those things, I have physical training. They don't add any value to the intellectual acumen of the individual into your bar. And I'm said training your physical or coswania or yeah, macho no buy. One in a year, dear Kakrabia, they want to demonstrate your no or yeah, macho into a bubble and so. But instead of focusing to train the mind, because me kind way be or say upon all the arsenals we take to the battlefield, do you know the most important thing? America for a Cold War, or more bomb, or more nuclear arsenal, or every single modern military equipment to be a movie. But Dr. Ryan, do you know the most significant one among them?
The battle of the mind. Yeah, the battle of the mind.
Mind near disrupted that. it is unable to differentiate between enemy and friend.
Yeah, in security, if the battle of the mind is not strong and sharper, a year battle, ube Lucy. And that is the reason why we to say Alexander the Great, woman who say Alexander, a friend say he was the greatest a friend is saying a leader because now or very smart, and he had a friend is a stable mind and an So you are right. Too far on my Ghana no, we really put emphasis on the physical. And today's world, in today's war, it's not about the mighty in terms of a year physique, but it's about the battle of the mind. It is already a year the third world war, bebano, and more physical. It will be about the battle of the mind. Why no bet me you should not journey. BT in Kofu, and that is the reason why today we talk about cyber world, and then a cyber war, about people on detecting how to control the ecoso internet. So it's about physical, one share about one more bit me use a general produce a technology a bit me a boama mine 2 pound obekech because a year Israel say and your physical et year to bombs no one so chichi when you wiem and a quack making sure that they are using the brain to work. Emphasis on physical no dear, but we should also place equal importance on the brain. Senia and Concobane say ye training or more physical, ye quack basum to Ghana soldiers are ye call a year friend is a year assignment near Bobosu Tronkwa a banner a year the brain and not ye catchy.
Yes, because training, log on either turn or the Dimerica or cobo boxing or we are or year push up, but to spend time and work on the brain, the mind, to stay resilient. Sabia M40 and carry into fear. And those kind of way, we don't. Unfortunately, I have military, we don't even go to war. So there was a time there was this platform that I joined. We were having conversation about the tensions at the geopolitical arena. US, China, no, because I say US and China, and China has more sophisticated weapon, they can battle. I'm a You see, US has been in the business of warfare for so years. Having equipment is different from having tasted war before. China in the last 50 years has never gone to war anywhere in the world. And you might think that it's so easy to say yes, sir, near my call war. A better point, a nipano, the willingness to even go to the battlefield, no crown by us and for. And training the mind to be resilient, it's everything. Very, 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 very crucial. So I think that going forward, I just wish President Mahama would take this challenge. Now, you share your police, at the military and other way, training, you retool everything. Especially the police who are responsible for day-to-day security within the country, Training, must be extended. Obibeka say, oh, now so I'm 4 years, still about criminals. Yes. Obiko 10 years about a criminal. But you see, you'll be able to weed out a lot of people. You'll be able to instill discipline, inculcate a lot of stuff within them. You can reproduce a better version of those we have today. And trust me, the police will get better. So this whole conversation for me, it's not about Dampare. It is not about Yohunu. No. It is about retooling the entire structure of the police. And make it better.
And that reminds me of where Barack Obama by so we need a stronger institution. I mean, a stronger institution in terms of maybe our physical strength, even though the physical strength is also very important, but the mental strength where and then again, that is the reason why we refer to one arm of security as a force and the other arm of security as a service. And if we have a police who are a reform as a servicer, then they have to understand that their service is to make sure that they will be more friendly, bring up a friend is policies and implement here a bit me abua ama the community and the police na agilely together to ensure that yebenya wo maya who yebit me respect both sides. Inti senior wokana, I think say I totally agree with you. And I think that one of the things that President Aka about making sure say women be serve as a national services, no, they will have the opportunity to go through the military training. And I think say I have always been advocating say aden na ye say almost so motifia sebio womo SS no yenhwe and from JSS no omo train no aden the concrete the police service system be a structure womo so betiminya that particular, even if it's about 4 months 5 month training as a police to get that patriotism, the belonging, a sense of respect and understand us or mind bapan. I think these are things as a nation, we should start thinking outside the box. You know why I bet me to 2 and you may SUT the needs of the people as a whole.
Sure, I think that's very, very important.
Free one na yanko OSPNA say ura Keno Furiata wesiu no. But before I call no quickly a special promotion overseas student for run a promotion Emma Ghana for omo a fee on person pursue education United Kingdom.